Welcome back to another episode of TSP Sunday evening. How you guys doing?
Hi guys, how are you?
I'm doing good. Every day you can get up in the morning, put your feet on the ground. That's a good day.
Yes, sir. Again, we're doing a little bit different today. It's a live show, and we're actually an hour early just because of my schedule. It's what fit better. So I don't know, you got to mix it up every once in a while. Make sure everybody's on their toes.
We do have to keep them on their toes, Sleek.
Yes. So we at TSP, we sit down with veterans and get their stories. And what we do, we try to generate money. So if you'd like to support us, there's links in the bottom in the description. There's many ways you can support us. You can take this video and simply share it. You can buy my new cookbook. You can drop donations down there. So what this cookbook does is all the proceeds go towards my nonprofit where we send veterans and first responders to sporting events. And the sales are going pretty well, so I appreciate everyone's support.
I still need a copy of that, man.
Yeah, I literally haven't seen you. And when I was at the VFW meeting, I had run out. I just got a whole nother shipment in, so they're right behind me.
It's okay. You know what? I will give you a VFW T-shirt for one of your cookbooks. How about that?
Sounds good, buddy. So
they just came in. They just came in yesterday. $20. Radamill Designs. They make all the T-shirts, hoodies, hats. If you want one, see me or see Rachel Miller. Radamill Designs. She does a great job.
September 11th, we're having a big fundraiser at Single Tree Barbecue. So if you're in Middle Tennessee, or if you still like to support us, you can still send a few bucks for that. The proceeds are going to the nonprofit Minutes Wisely. Again, we send veterans and first responders to sporting events. There's going to be bands, barbecue. Charlie at Single Tree was gracious enough, approached us and wants to do a fundraiser. And so he chose Monday evening, September 11th. So if you're around, please stop by.
And he has made an Eventbrite, and if we could put the Eventbrite on the comments section, that would be amazing. I bought my tickets, so I'm good to go.
Yes, I will definitely put it in the comments somewhere. Cecilia,
who's that?
Cecilia Vaught says, God bless.
God bless. Hey, God bless you.
God bless you, man. So today,
I love this live thing, man. I love this live. This live, it feels so weird. I mean, it's so different than the pre-recording. I love it.
I really enjoy the live ones too. Obviously, you're not going to get any editing in, so if somebody flips a bad word in, it's going to go live. I mean, it's not like we've never swore before, right?
Dude, we ain't going to get NJP for swearing on this thing, okay?
But tonight we have Lieutenant Colonel Al Kittredge, 3-time Vietnam tour, Bronze Stars. He's got plenty of accolades. He's been on the show before. He told us the stories about Vietnam. We're going to get to him here in a second. He's going to talk whatever the hell he wants to talk about. But we're here to celebrate his birthday. I believe you just celebrated your 84?
84th birthday, yes, sir.
All right. Well, my bad.
Happy birthday, sir.
I think I put 80 in the description, so my bad. It's 84.
Yeah,
and
that's good. I like 39 better.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
So Al just celebrated his birthday in Africa, so we asked him to come back and talk about his trip. So before we get into Africa, do you have anything else, chaps?
You mentioned the 9/11. We do have a veteran meetup in Murfreesboro on August 24th. At Single Tree Barbecue. It's put on by Operation Stand Down. And Charlie, if you're a veteran in Rutherford County, please show up. Starts at 5 o'clock, 1700. It'll be fun. And we get to mingle with other veterans.
And your first drink is on the house.
And first drink is on the house. That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's in the ad. That's right. I forgot about that. Except for me.
Yeah, you don't drink anymore, so can I have yours?
No, you can have mine. I'm the designated driver for the entire night. And I had my 5-year sobriety chip last week, so
Yeah,
I'm good to go.
congrats.
I'll drive you guys all around Murfreesboro. I don't care.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, sir. You guys helped me. You guys were part of my support system. So I've got you to thank for keeping me sober.
Hey, that's what we're here for, man. Got to find your tribe, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous sometimes, man, because every Sunday you post these pictures of like these really very good looking beverages, like every
Yeah.
Sunday. And I'm like, damn it. Wrong year to quit drinking.
Yeah. So today, my wife and I went grocery shopping. We usually do meal preps on Sunday, and we usually slip in a lunch here or there. So it usually involves a margarita.
Yeah, I did see tequila on the menu for today. So
Yeah.
good on you.
It was pretty tasty. I don't know. Is that all you got? Should we get
that's all I got. Yeah,
we get to the
let's
Lieutenant
get to the
Colonel now?
Let's get to the birthday boy.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, let me tell you just a little bit about myself. I was on the show before, so I won't go into much. But anyway, high school dropout, joined the Army, became a paratrooper. The Vietnam War came along, went to OCS, and it all went uphill from there. Ended up going to Vietnam with Special Forces 3 different times, and I was there when the war ended. It turned out okay for me. I was lucky. I was there where a lot of stuff happened. I caused a lot of stuff to happen, but I was zig when I was supposed to zig and zag when I was supposed to zag. And other than getting real sick, I didn't get no Purple Hearts for me. And my hat's off to everybody that gets a bona fide Purple Heart. But I didn't get one, and I'm proud of the fact I didn't. But what I want to talk about today is just because you're old or getting old, or maybe even crippled up a little bit, don't mean you have to give up. If anybody's going to get crippled up, it would be me, particularly after 84 years. But I've got 2 hip replacements. I've got a couple of other little problems, but I stay on top of it. And that's another thing I need to tell all you folks. It's awful easy, particularly when you're dealing with VA, to go to VA and they used to kiss you off. I don't think they can kiss you off so much anymore, but I always thought they used to. In fact, they did with me. But I look at it this way: their job is to give you as little as possible, and your job is to get as much as possible. And if you take and approach it with that attitude, then you'll work out fine. And I know an awful lot of you, and I have friends that have gone out there and finally said, "Yeah, to hell with it," and walk away. Well, they put a little check mark by your name and say your veteran walked away. So that's don't let them do that to you. But anyway, I've always been involved in the outdoors. Big into fishing, big into hunting. Particularly after I retired, I got really big into deer hunting. So, and I'm a pretty good deer hunter, and I'm a pretty good fisherman too. But not too long ago, a friend of mine went to Africa, and I always thought, I'd like to go to Africa. Number one, it was going to be too expensive, and number two, after being up in my 80s, no way I could do it. But he went, and he came on back, and he invited me over to see his trophies and had a little get together and all that stuff. And I said, do you think I could do it? Knowing my limitations and all that stuff. And he said, absolutely. And he put me in contact with the outfit that he went with. And I emailed them and texted them. And the best way to get a hold of them and get instantaneous response is texting. Use WhatsApp. And they'll, the PH or the professional hunter, we call them a guide, but they call themselves PH over there. He responded, and I told him, what my challenges were, and how that I didn't have a whole bunch of money. And I also told him that I wasn't interested in bringing home any big trophies. And that's the other big thing. If you want to go and do the trophy hunt, check your bank account because it's going to cost you. But if you're willing to, or if you want to go for a limited trophy hunt, it won't cost as much. The hunt itself won't cost that much. What's going to cost is the taxidermy and getting it on home. The fellow that went, he went on a $5,000 hunt. But by the time you get it all home, and plus he shot his $5,000 worth early, and he still had 3-4 days to go. So he said, well, I'll get one more. And he did. And it was bigger than something last, so I had to get that mounted too. And by the time he got all done, I'm told through the grapevine that his $5,000 hunt was about $15,000. So he can, yeah. I don't think he told his wife that. Hopefully she's not listening. But,
damn.
Yeah. Contact. I went to for where did I go? You can go on you can go to Kenya, and they don't do it. It's the best of my knowledge, they don't really hunt at all there. It's all with the camera. Some of the South Africa, you can go and do gun hunts. You can go to Botswana and do gun hunts. There's a couple of other countries you can do gun hunts on, but some of them you probably today would not want to go to. South Africa is still fairly stable, and where I went to Namibia, which is right up against South Africa. It's in the southern hemisphere, and I went in June, which was their December, which worked out just fine by me. I'm sitting here, in 90-degree temperature in North Carolina, and but I took all long sleeve shirts and a jacket and gloves and a gaiter, and I wish I'd had some more stuff early in the morning. It was cool there first thing in the morning. By about 10 o'clock in the morning, it had warmed up. I didn't see anybody in t-shirts, and I didn't see too many people in shorts. It's the of course, on the other hand, if you go in December, although they don't hunt in December, I don't think it's too hot there. But you got to figure out where you're going and how much you want to spend and what you want to shoot. And Namibia is on the Atlantic coast of Africa. It'll be on the west coast, and it's where I went was quite arid. It sort of reminds me of say El Paso or Fort Hood or some of those areas there. It's a lot of sand, a lot of scrub brush, a few trees, but not too many. But lots of game. And I went for what they call a cull hunt. And by cull hunt, I could shoot animals that were not of trophy quality and animals which you had an excessive number of. And my initial ticket was I could shoot 10 springbuck. What's a springbuck? Springbuck is about, it looks like an antelope. It's about the size of our white-tailed deer. They're herd animals. You see one, you're going to see at least 10. You maybe see 50, you may even see 100 of them.
Hey, and Al, it's a mascot for the rugby team in South Africa, too.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry. That was useless knowledge. I just remember.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So, where were we at? What country?
Namibia. Yeah.
This right here?
Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, you're going to need a passport.
Yeah.
You need to go and get your shots. Although where we went, you need the shots to enter there. I went to the travel section at Fort Bragg, and I'm still able to go to Fort Bragg for the hospital and everything. And of course, they read you the riot act and all that stuff and say, you've got a date and take this shot, you can take that shot, take malaria pills, watch out for ticks, watch out for bugs, whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, where I was, maybe if I go back in the when during the wet season, maybe some of that would be, you might need some of that. But where I was, I didn't see an insect, I didn't see a snake, I didn't see, you know, it was dry and quite arid and cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the malaria, if that was an issue there.
Yeah, I followed the protocol, and a week before, I think 4 or 5 days before, I started popping a pill, and well, all I was there. But the folks at the lodge said, you know, you didn't really, nobody in our section of the country has had malaria in years. But there are other places in the area that you could go to where it is more traditional jungle and all that stuff, and then you should take that precaution.
Did you see any lions? Is there lions in that area?
Where I was at, the answer is no. What did I see? I saw springbuck, I saw zebra, wildebeest, giraffes, warthogs, eland,
Cool.
ginsbuck, ostriches, and jackals. And
Nice.
yeah, and what? Yeah, there you go, right there. And that's the name of the safari we were at. But very professionally done. The accommodations were first class. Had a villa all to myself. And I had a traveling companion who was not that close to me, so she had her own villa, and it worked out fine, all for the same price. The accommodations are first class. The food was first class. You could drink yourself silly if you wanted to, but you wouldn't want to. And it was just plain, it's all included in the package. Because if you're an alcoholic, probably wouldn't be included in the package. But yeah.
Thank God. Hey, thank God I stopped drinking, man. That sounds like
they'd make money off you then.
So I have all your photos in a slideshow here, so we'll just go through some and you can explain what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. What's that right there? Well,
damn, that's a
hell of a gun.
That is an eland, and is the biggest of the antelopes.
Holy shit!
The males up to 2,000, 2,500 pounds. That was a female, and it's about 1,000 pounds. And the reason it was not on my call list, but it had broken its back, and the PH said that if I see it again, then I'm going to have somebody call it. And we came around the corner, and there it was. Well, it wasn't there, it was, but anyway. So we edged up on it, and it saw us, and it ran. But it didn't run very far, and it was running. You could see, you could see it, going. You could see it was definitely had a broken back. Eventually, probably some. There are, lions and other things in the area.
Man, look at the horns on that thing.
Yeah, well, and the gun that I shot, that I had, was designed for springbuck. It was a 6.5 Creedmoor. And he told me, he said, you got to make a perfect shot on this thing, or we're going to be tracking it for a long time. And we got within, it ran, and then it stopped, got behind a tree, and we got up behind it. We got it in a clear view again, and I aimed right for where the heart was and shot it, and it ran, but you could see the blood pumping out of his heart as it ran. And it only ran about, maybe 50 yards and keeled on over. But then, yeah, that's the biggest animal that I will probably ever shoot, particularly with a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Did you get to bring any of this meat home, or do they keep it there for the village?
It's the deal. In fact, the deal, even if it's a trophy hunt, you don't get to bring any meat home. If it's a trophy hunt, you can bring the animals home, but we have them sent home. But all the meat goes to the lodge. The prime cuts go to the lodge, and then the help. And this he has I think 4 permanent people in during the hunting season, and it's a sheep farm, and during the when they have a lot of sheep ranching going on, they have a bigger crew. So all the meat stays right there for the crew. And when they have any excess, it goes to a care clinic. So nothing is wasted. Absolutely nothing's wasted. I feel confident in that. Okay, that's a springbuck.
Springbuck, yep, I recognize that.
That's a springbuck, and that's guys paid good money to shoot those. I didn't, that's part of my call package. But that's a good trophy size springbuck right there.
So how was the meat? What was it compared to?
Yeah,
taste-wise?
I ate some springbuck steaks, and it was compared to venison. It was good. Let me talk to you about the eating though.
Yeah.
He hires a chef from the capital city of Windhoek. She's a German chef, and she works in. She runs a catering business, and she also works for some private restaurants in the capital city. But he fell in love with her. He didn't fall in love with her. But he fell in love with her cooking, and brings her out there for 90 to 100 days a year when he's running the hunting operation. She came on out, introduced herself, and find out what you don't like to eat, and whether there's any food allergies or anything, and what you do like to eat. And then she started preparing it. And every meal, they had a couple, 3 gals that would serve the food, but she'd come out with it and explain what it was and how she cooked it. And very, it was. She was a good cook. Let's put it that way. He did right by hiring her for those 90 days out of the year.
Right.
That's what it looks like. They call this the Kalahari Desert. It's now. Incidentally, I am going back. It's a long story, but I am going back in end of April, first 2 weeks in May, and I'm told it'll be green then, so I'll be seeing it different. But right now, it was all brown, bush, grayish like there. And the big deal that during the wintertime is they worry about brush fires or prairie fires. But it's very arid. But the animals got it figured out because they live there.
Right.
All right, what's that?
What the hell is that? What
orange.
is it?
And it's the 3 or 4. That's a ginsbuck.
Ginsburg.
And it's about the size of an elk. And there's a story on that one. I shot that with at some point 7mm mag, but should have had an elephant gun. Shot that 4 times.
Damn.
All of them would have been dead shots, except we were running out of time and couldn't knock it down. Knocked it down twice, jumped back up, ran again. And they're herd animals, and once they get going, they'll. And we finally found it. Find it for the last time with 3 or 4 other ones, and tell you, and you can see the sun is going down.
Right.
Yeah, and by the time we got it on the ground, that's about the best photograph we got right there.
When you're tracking these, are you on foot or in a vehicle?
No, in this particular case, we had the vehicle. Most of your shots, you get options. You can try. You can get on the ground and hunt like you want to. White-tailed deer around here if you want. That's not too productive, but you can do it. Or you can. The best way to see a lot of animals is to ride them back to the truck. And I think we're going to see the truck in a little while. But that's another. That's another springbuck. In fact, I think that's a female springbuck. All the antelope animals, both male and female, have horns. But you can stock them. You can ride the back of the truck. Probably most productive and the best way you can see a lot of animals. Or you can go in a water hole. Yeah, that's obviously me. Every time you take and shoot something, you got to stop, have a little congratulatory. If it's in the morning, have coffee, and if in the afternoon, you might have a little beverage.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 spring
Nice.
buck. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And the best thing to do is if you can get him in the net or get him.
Yeah, I was gonna say you shot that bastard in the neck.
Yeah. Get him in the net. Don't waste much meat. But let me tell you about shooting over there. Around here for deer hunting, 75 yards is a long shot for me. 150 yards probably my longest ever shot. Over there, the first thing you do, he takes you to the range on day one. Take you to the range. You don't have to bring a gun, incidentally. They have guns for you, part of the package. Or you can rent a gun if you want to. But a part of the package is, depending on what you're going for that day, there I am right there. I'm sighting in my rifle. That's the 6.5 Creedmoor. And the other one was a 7mm Winchester 7mm Remington mag. But 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, 400 yards, 500 yards. He's got there's an airstrip there, and he's got targets set up along the airstrip. Ostrich, saw a lot of ostrich. Yeah, saw a lot of ostrich. Could have shot 3 of those. I elected not to. I had no idea. I have no desire to shoot an ostrich, but it could have. And I'm told they're real good eating. And behind that ostrich is a springbuck. You can see that, and the springbuck, looking there, you think, well, it's real thin, but there's white there too, and that's part of their belly. So I equate them about the size of our southern deer.
So what? If you shoot an ostrich, what do you aim for? Its head or midsection?
I didn't shoot one, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you had to shoot that one in its head, man, you better be a good damn shot.
Yeah, and that one came to water hole, so you probably and with my 6.5, I probably could have cut his neck off.
Yeah,
probably could have cut his neck off. Yeah. There's a couple of more springbuck. Yeah, every day I shot. Well, most every time I went out, I shot. In the morning I'd shoot 2, in the afternoon I'd shoot 2, if that's what we're going to.
Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah. Okay. I believe that's a Kuda. And those are small ones. And they will, their horns will get more symmetrical there and go up around the head. And there again, we're at a water hole there. So that's how I'm getting close. Yeah. That's a nice male springbuck. Lots of those, and that's obviously a mother and a baby. Believe it or not, people shoot those. I had no desire to shoot one, but people do shoot them. And I'm told by the pH, the meat is real good. Meat's real good. Look behind there, and you see, and we're probably going to see some, but those are anthills.
What?
Those are anthills.
Holy moly!
Yeah, but they're solid as a rock. Apparently, the ants or the termites or whatever they are have some sort of secretion in the sand, and it almost cements it together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful sunrises and sunsets over there. And we were a couple times in the morning we were out for the sunrise, but most of the time we were out for the evening for the sunsets. Every time you came back, this little gal was out there with, like back in the old days when you flew first class, they give you a wet towel before you landed. Well, she was out there with a wet towel for everybody to wipe the blood off and wipe the dust and stuff off before we went inside the
nice, very nice.
Yeah. Okay. That's another real nice springbuck.
Cool.
Yeah, there I am again with my eland. I posted a blog, and if any of you were to friend me on Facebook, you can read my. I would accept you as a friend, and then you can read my blog. I posted a blog in the morning and a blog in the afternoon, telling what we did and my impressions and all that stuff. But initially, when I shot that thing, I just took a picture of the back part of it and everything. And I said, oh, I made a mistake. I shot a cow.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I said we're gonna butcher it on out so it won't waste. And you should have seen the people that came back on thinking,
Oh man.
oh man, yeah. But
So how do they pick something like that up? Is there like a crane or something they have? They have like
oh,
a winch?
had a big old winch, big old winch. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's my Guinness buck again. Now, very dangerous. You got to be real careful when you walk up on them. Thinking many people have been killed or impaled by what they thought was a dead, a dead Guinness buck. Because one launch, one more desperate run, and there you go, right in the gut. Yeah. Yeah.
You jacked him up right in the neck.
Yeah. And I think that's the one that finally put it down. My shot, I think, is the one right behind the shoulder. Would have killed it, but it didn't. And then we took and knocked it down twice more, and it got right back up and got running, and finally at the last minute, got it. Yeah. What's the gun I've got there? Well, that's a 6.5, and I think it was a Tinka, probably about $1,000 gun, but. And over there they use suppressors, and I'm impressed with the suppressors they had there because the 6.5. I've got a crossbow that makes more noise than that 6.5 did.
Wow.
And even the 7mm, shot that a couple of times, and my crossbow makes more noise than that 7mm did with that suppressor on it.
Wow.
But that scope had $1,000 gun, probably another. I don't know what it costs around here. It costs $1,000 for the suppressor, but the scope, about a $5,000 scope.
Jeez.
A range finding scope. I think it was 5 to 25 power, but put the crosshairs on where you're going to shoot. Push a button, and then if it's at 300 yards, the little light will come on down, showing you what your elevation should be. Put that on there and touch it off. Yeah. There's a skinning crew. Because they're also a sheep ranch. They're a sheep ranch, and the skinning crew gets the meat processing place gets inspected by the government. They got a scale there. They got all the knives and all that stuff. They've got a vacuum packer. They've got a commercial meat saw. They've got a place for hanging it to let it age for days or whatever. And then they got a thing for flash freezing it, big freezers, and big vacuum packers, all commercial grade.
Yeah.
Okay, those are waterbuck. And I believe that is right across from my villa. At the villa at the lodge, there was a little, they call it a lake, but it was a little pond really. But find water, you get animals, and right near the lodge and everything. And I think he probably keeps them there for the atmosphere. But all sorts of animals right near the lodge, and no shooting at the lodge, obviously. But It was great. Just sit out there with a drink, or just sit out there with your phone and catch up on messages or stuff like that, and watch all the critters.
Is there anything in that water that will kill them? Is there like a croc or anything in there?
No. They do have crocodiles and stuff like that, but they're a little further north, up in the northern part of Namibia.
So that would be scary.
Yeah. Again, that's the typical. And I think what you're looking at there, you're looking at a riverbed, and during the rainy season, for maybe 1 or 2 days, that riverbed will kind of flood, and it's like it a lot around here too. You know, when the water comes down, it comes down in a flood, and then it don't rain again for another year. That's the inside the lodge where we did our eating our meals and stuff like that. And all those animals were shot by our PH. He actually, there's a story about a PH too, I think. he was a commercial pilot, a fairly young fellow. I think he's in his very early 30s. A commercial pilot. Got his rating for twin engines and all that stuff. And then he flew clients in and out of different lodges in Namibia and South Africa and stuff. And then he got to hunt and all that stuff. But his family ran a sheep ranch. And then adjacent to the sheep ranch, there was a game preserve. And the family bought the game preserve. And he went, and it was kind of in dilapidated and everything. He fixed it on up, spent megabucks, fixed it on up. And made I think 4 or 5 villas there for people to stay in. Then the big lodge, very first class, 5-star, definitely 5-star. You wouldn't go wrong going with this guy, and I'm sure there's other people in the same area that do something similar. But this guy, I would recommend him. Yeah, that's those are all animals that he had shot during his short career, but he's certified PH, he's licensed, and including that lion over there, he shot that, and he's got several other lions lion skulls that he shot.
A dog there.
Yeah, that's why we ate every day, and again, we either had a late breakfast after we came back for the morning hunt, or we take and have maybe brunch, and then every evening we would have a major sit-down meal after we came back from the hunt. Of course, and that always puts a challenge also on the cooks and stuff. When are you coming back? Well, you come back when the hunt's over with. But he kept in communications with them with two-way radio and all that stuff. And that's of course how the little girl was always out there when you came in. She was out there with the hot towels.
How far away would you leave from the lodge to go hunting?
We had to go probably half a mile, 2 miles outside the lodge before we started shooting. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There again, it's inside the lodge, but and he takes up to 6 or 8 people at a time, but because I had let him know ahead of time there's going to be my birthday and all that stuff, and he also I think he saw that as an opportunity. He actually brought his significant other down from Germany, and we had, and I had a lady friend with me, not my girlfriend, but and we had a good time for 7, 8 days. Another beautiful sunset. There we go again.
More
Now, yeah, look between the that's the PH's dog.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice.
That dog just loves to go out, and one of those, and maybe one of those right there. I wasn't shooting that well one day, and I shot, and it got back up. Dog is out and on it, and chased it around the mulberry bush half a dozen times. And finally, had to keel it over. He said, "Yeah, okay. That's on my birthday date. The owners of the sheep ranch and his PH's parents, they gave me an ostrich egg. That's an ostrich egg.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And Dickie, the PH, gave me a very nice knife. And also I got a glass of wine. Not a glass of wine. Got a bottle of wine to bring back, and got a couple of other things. Oh! I tell you what I got. It's unique. Not many people in the United States got them. I got a wallet made out of elephant hide.
Wow.
Wallet made out of elephant.
That's cool.
Are you allowed to bring that stuff back?
Yep. Well, I brought it back. How about that? I brought it back. Yeah. And there's my wallet right there.
Oh, your wallet. Yeah.
Made out of elephant hide. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And that is definitely a nice springback.
Man, it looks like you had a fantastic time.
I did.
Yeah.
And that's a little pond across from, The scenario is you come on in the evening, the little gals there to get washed up and all that stuff, and then they've got a fire outside, a little fire pit. You sit there and have a brandy or a glass of wine, whatever, and they've got across the pond. They've got lights in the trees there, and you're seeing that reflecting. And it's just beautiful. Yeah, and what you're doing is sort of you're mellowing on down and waiting for the cook to call and say, "Hey, dinner's ready." Remember, the cook probably didn't know when to start until it's time to come on in. And there's me at the ready. And there I am again with my very good Guinness.
That's a nice, that's a cool photo with the sun in the background.
Yeah. That's tight, man. That's tight.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
The hell's that thing?
They added a water buck. I would hope I didn't shoot him because you can see it's got a broken antler. But he said no, it's got good genes, and he wanted to keep it there in that area. But it probably broke his horn fighting with another one. And it looked like he was the victor. And this was at a water hole.
So, do they shed their antlers like the deer?
No, they don't. No, they don't shed their antler. None of the. I don't think any of the animals in Africa shed their horns or their antlers. Okay, that's a sable. Very expensive. That was not on my call list. Saw several of them though. So if you want to pay for one, there's plenty of opportunity to shoot one. In fact, if plenty of opportunity to shoot everything that I saw. Yeah, there we are again. Yeah, got a lot of repeats here. Yeah. That again is typical, and I know we're not able to zoom in, but those bushes in front there, they got thorns all over them. But the springbuck are able to stick their tongues between where those thorns are and get the leaves, and they survive real well there. As a matter of fact, that's also I don't know if we're getting pictures here of the sheep ranch, but one morning I'm a farmer at heart. And one morning, I took and told the PH's father and mother that I'd like to see the sheep ranch. And we went for the morning hunt. We took a gun with us, but we didn't shoot anything. We could have. But we went and saw the 20,000 acre sheep ranch. And they have it divided up into about 5,000 acre parcels with fences and all that stuff. And they move the sheep around so they don't overgraze. And they have about 4,000 sheep at any one time. And they at the roundup about twice a year, they sell about 800 of them. And what they do is they go through all the lambs. It's like all other farmers. Depends on what the market is, and if there's more money to be made in lambs, they sell a lot of lambs. But for the most part, they keep the female lambs. All the male lambs are sold, and then all of and they keep one ram or one male sheep, a ram for each 25 females. And the sheep are they're meat sheep. They're not for they don't do them for wool.
What's the longest shot that you took?
I'm kind of proud of the fact that I shot a springbuck in the neck at 330 yards.
Wow.
Nice.
Most of my shots were, there you go right there. 100, 200, 300, 400, way on down there, 500. Yeah, you got to ring a gong. And I could ring a gong. We didn't do a lot of drinking, but they had it available all the time. And one of the things in the afternoon, for the most part, particularly if you've been having a successful hunt, you shoot a springbuck and maybe shoot two springbuck, and then out here in the middle of nowhere, he's got a little place set up that's his favorite spot for seeing the sunset. And he's got a little table up there, and he's got one of his henchmen has been out there and made a little bonfire already, and he sets up a table with cognac, wine, soda, whatever, and you sit there and watch the sunset.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Looks super nice.
It was a 5-star hunt. I've got a lot of friends that have been on hunts in the United States, and I haven't had too many of them come back afterwards and say that they're real happy.
Is that a lion on the table too?
Yeah, it is.
That's very cool.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the
female.
Fleek, let's go. Hey man, let's go, man. Let's go shoot some lions.
That was the last photo. That's very cool.
Yeah. So, what does this whole thing cost? Well, it costs some serious dollars, but you can tailor, what you've got to spend. It's going to cost you from, say, North Carolina. It's going to cost you at least $2,200 to get there and return. It's a long trip. You're talking me here in North Carolina, went from here to Newark, Newark to Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt on down to Namibia. About an 8-hour flight across the pond. Then the other big thing is sometimes you got to wait a long time. We had to wait almost a half a day in Frankfurt. But then once you and all the flights are full, just like they always are. Even down there it's full. But going to Namibia was 10.5 hours from Frankfurt. And you knew you were getting it because they feed you and all that stuff, feed you breakfast and everything. But you knew you were getting close when the people started getting up into their overhead and pulling out sweaters and jackets. Yeah.
So,
and my companion was still in her short sleeve blouse, and I said, "I hope in your easy to get to overhead that you've got something coming longer than that." I said, "It's gonna be cool here when we get here." Yeah, and she did. So it's going to cost you, at least $2,200, maybe more, to get there, and then it's going to cost you at least $5,000 for the hunt. And my call hunt ended up, I think, with $6,700, something like that.
Wow.
But then, but. And that was, and that was 10 spring buck or the equivalent, 3 Guinness buck or the equivalent. And for the equivalent, I shot that eland. That eland would have been a $3,000 animal if I'd have been shooting it as a trophy. And I could have shot 3 ostriches. I didn't. And I ended up shooting a big warthog.
You shot
did you
puma?
Did you get to eat it?
No, well, I didn't. Matter of fact, we gave it to the locals.
Oh, right on.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. So it's
What a wonderful phrase.
By the time you get all done, because if you're going to go that far, and particularly if you're going to go back, you ought to take and give a tip to the skinner and the tracker and the driver.
Oh, yeah.
And the cook, and the little ladies that did great.
Alice,
they wanted to keep it going.
Alice sounds like a birthday well spent.
It was,
Yes.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I kind of forget it was my birthday, to tell you the truth. But on my birthday, we came back at noontime. The PH hadn't gone with us that morning. He sent his father with us, but he came on out, and he was the wet towel lady. But he had the wet towel lady beside him, and in addition to the wet towels, he had two glasses of cognac, one for me and one for his dad. Okay,
Nice.
But the ladies beside him, she, "Happy birthday to you." Yeah, And then that night, after we'd chased the Ginsbach all over the Kalahari, uh, out there at the fire pit, they've all gathered out there, and they brought the three little the hired help that keep the place running, do an excellent job, and they all out there and sang the long rendition of "Happy Birthday to Me." I mean, you can't beat that.
Right. Yeah. Sounds awesome.
No, you can't.
Yeah, can't beat that. And you know, I made some memories. How about that?
Right. Yeah. That's
Hey,
very
Katrina,
awesome.
if you're watching this, when I'm 84, I want to go to Africa to shoot some stuff.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. I mean, don't wait until you're 84. But you know, the only reason I'm not going back on my 85th birthday is I had a little glitch in that my companion that was going with me was not able to go, but she has agreed to go later, and was able to negotiate with the airlines to give us credit, and she had a legitimate reason for not going, but
Nice.
we negotiated to. We're going back later, and we have got to use the money though. Got to use the airline ticket within 1 year. So we're going back in April, and it'll work just fine for both of us. For me, she'll be seeing it for the first time. I'll be seeing it green for the first time.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And I can sort of be half tour guide, I guess.
So how long was this hunting trip?
Okay, 7 days of hunting. Okay, a day on each end for traveling back and forth to the airport and administrative and all this stuff. But then you got to figure 14 days because 2 days, as it turned out, the morning of that we're supposed to go to the airport, I get a text. We're sorry. Your airline has been canceled for today. We'll be in contact with you to let you know if we're ever going to let you leave Africa. Well, about half a day later, they contacted us back and we were going the following day. But we made lemonade. We made lemonade. Yeah, made lemonade. Lemonade.
Yeah.
Lemonade and
Lemonade.
lemons. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That works. Yeah, that's a good one.
For the extra day, I went back to the shooting house. Went to the shooting house and sat there, and the PH said, "If you wait here and you're quiet and all that stuff, the warthogs come here right the last light of the evening." And I sat there, and I'd been happy if one did because all sorts of animals coming to get that last water, before they go grazing during the evening. But just about dark, in comes a big old warthog, and I shot it dead.
Very cool.
So I ended up with 8 days of actually hunting.
That's awesome, man.
So how far away from the airport to the lodge? How long of a travel was that?
The PH says hour and a half drive. Figure 2 hours or more,
2 hours.
maybe 3.
Yeah.
It's about half it is paved road, and then you get into everything over there seems to be dirt road.
Yeah.
Don't get too far from civilization to find dirt road.
Yeah. And they pick you up from the airport and drop you off? No?
Yeah, that is they do that, but they get it. They got the gas figured in and all that stuff. Or that's a little extra, but it's not that bad. And like I said, by the time it's all done, and even with the extra day and everything, and all my gratuities and all that stuff, I still had a couple of dollars after I cashed my $10,000 bill.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
But go to Colorado or Montana and you want to get a guaranteed elk hunt. 20,000, 26,000. Go to British Columbia, want to do a bear hunt. Go to Alaska, want to do a bear hunt. You're talking starting at, you might see something at 20,000. If you want to make sure you're going to get one, you better put in 30,000.
Jeez.
So going to Africa is cheap.
Yeah.
And five-star accommodations. And everybody treats you. Obviously you're a paying customer, but they treat you like you're a paying customer.
So when you go back in April, is that a hunting trip, or are you just going to?
No, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, and do both of us are going to do the coal trip. So
Nice. Good. That's awesome.
Between two of us, we I don't know how it's going to work out because this lady I'm going with is quite competitive too. So she'd probably be thinking she's going to get the first shot every time, or she's going to get the biggest one. But
You better shut her down now. You better shut her down.
Yeah. I know.
Don't let her show you up.
We're gonna have a good time, and I'm looking forward to another first class hunt.
So it looks like
I'm fortunate that I'm able to do that, and I guess maybe I'm spending my kids' inheritance, but in the grand scheme of things, it really is not that much.
so. I guess we're gonna have to have you back on in May. Talk about that trip.
another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I see we got a couple of, no, we don't have a couple of minutes here. Almost done. But anyway, you can put together whatever package you want. If you want to shoot something more exotic, spend more money.
Yeah.
And plan on spending more time. You can do that, and this fellow will do it for you, or there's somebody else that'll do it for you. But it's doable in South Africa and Namibia.
You gotta go for a lion next time.
Both of those are relatively stable countries right now.
Excellent. All right. Well, that worked out perfect, man. That was 1 hour of show and tell.
Yeah,
amazing story, Al. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll write a story. Maybe I'll write a book about my hunt. I got a book though. Look here, don't forget.
Yeah, that's right. Your book, yes.
Yeah. Google me on Amazon, and it was a bestseller at one time.
Google
nice.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, do you have any parting shots there? You got any saved rounds for us? Any words of wisdom from Vietnam veteran?
Is don't give up. Don't give up. Put one foot in front of the other. And if I've worked around a lot of people that are much more disabled than I am, and some of them I take and look at them and I say, I don't have a problem. And that I think is the attitude that you need to get up with every morning. If you can get both feet on the floor and stand up on your own, and sometimes I have a hard time doing that, but if I can do it on my own, I'm good.
Excellent.
Beautiful. Beautifully said.
We are proud to know you, Al. And if anybody deserves to go to Africa and hunt, it's a 3-time combat tour Vietnam veteran. So we're really happy for you.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for doing this, and thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, sir. Do you have anything else before we split, chaps?
No, I'm good, man. I'm just amazed at that story. I was just thinking the only time I went to Africa was on the Kearsarge, and we stopped in Djibouti for like 2 days, and that was it. I actually never set foot on Africa in 2007. Like we were in the bay, just like waiting. And I want to go to Africa now.
Yeah.
It's doable. I mean, you can go to Kenya. It'll cost you some money, but it's a camera safari. I actually, back in the day when I was still in the Army, I had business in Nairobi, and I did my business there. And then I had to go to Somalia back before anybody else knew where Somalia was.
Right.
Yeah.
You can only get there every third or fourth day. So I did my business, and I had a big layover. So I caught a puddle jumper, went out across the Great Rift, and landed at a safari camp, a camera safari, in the Masai Mara. Yeah, and it was just like on National Geographic. I mean, when the grass is green, the animals fall in the grass. And when the animals are there, the hoofed animals are there, the clawed animals and the toothed animals are following the meat.
Yep. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to go to Kenya when I was in the Navy. We went to Mombasa.
Nice.
Yep. So, all right.
On the USS Carl Vincent, is that the ship you were on?
That would be it. The one and only.
The one and only. Oh my God! Seriously. Hey, listen. CVN 70 is a great ship. I've seen lots of pictures.
Oh yeah. Yep. Home away
Al,
from home.
happy birthday, sir. We loved hearing your story, and keep on trucking, sir.
Thank you very much. A little bit of luck. Maybe in my 86th birthday, we do it again.
Yes, sir.
Good to go.
All right. Well, we're gonna sign off, man. Thanks for sticking around with us, everybody, and thanks for your story, El. And we'll be looking for more hunts from you.
Okay.
Hey, yeah. Hey, you guys have a great day. Thanks, Fleek. Thanks, Al.
Yeah, stick around for a second after I hit end. Make sure everybody's downloaded complete, and you guys have a blessed rest of your Sundays.
You too. Bye, guys.